I was 4.5 years old. My brother and I were playing cops and robbers with the two little neighbor girls. There was a garage between our houses. In it was an abandoned refrigerator, so we decided to use it as the jail. We took turns being the robber and would let the kid out in just a few minutes. But when I was a robber, the kids left me in an extra amount of time. Then their mother called them in for a snack. I was curled up in the bottom of the refrigerator, and I remember there were 2 racks above me. I tried to get out and call, and no one came. Then I looked up and I thought the little light up above came on. The refrigerator was not plugged in, so there actually was no light. It was very tiny, and then I felt myself leaving my body, going up through the grates, and into the light. I was being pulled up through a tunnel that opened into the most beautiful white light that I could ever describe. When I was fully into the light, I realized it was the most incredibly beautiful light that I had ever seen. It seemed to have a personality that was beyond belief loving. I was happy just being in the light. I remember then that I heard a voice that I thought was the light that surrounded me. Without having a body, somehow, I talked to the voice. I was shown that the white light was really made up of all the colors. I was shown the zillions of colors in the light, more than I have seen on earth. They were all beautiful. I don't remember the exact words, but I do remember discussing that all things were made of the light. I asked if even mountains, and people, and the voice, which I now think was God, told me even mountains, and a long list of things, everything. He also told me that the people there were in the light. I don't remember much about that except that I was aware that people were about to come to take me into some beautiful place and I wanted to go. The voice/light/God said, "Do you want to stay?" I said, "Yes." But then I was told that I had to go back. I was told that my mother needed me, and I saw something like my mom standing by a crib. I didn't know it, but my mother was pregnant with another brother, and I did help watch my other brother when the baby was born. I learned that there were things I would be needed to do in the future, and that sometimes I would just need to be there even if I had no specific task to perform. Suddenly I was going back through the tunnel and the 2 racks and was back into my curled up body. I could hear calling from far away. It was the terrified mother of my friends who had just learned that they had left me in the refrigerator. When they opened the door, I got out. But I was different. I was not yet 5, but I had the belief that all people are connected, and that nature was also connected. My dad didn't want me to tell anybody about the light and the voice. I had never heard of God or death, but when I told my mom, she said she believed it was God. We didn't talk about it anymore, but I became interested in learning about God when I was free to do so, first when I was 6 and allowed to go to a vacation Bible school, and later when I was older and had a chance to go to church one day with a friend. I didn't know it was a near-death experience until I heard someone talk about the tunnel and the light, when I was about 35 years old. As a little child, I thought of it as a special trip into some kind of fairyland and wished I could find a way back. I was going to be a math professor, but I noticed that I seemed to be filled with empathy and compassion and decided to become a rehabilitation counselor instead. I helped school-age and then college students who had physical, mental, or emotional disabilities. I was very successful in my career and have just recently retired. I had a sense that reaching out to the disabled was what God had told me I was to do when I was in the light, and that I was given insight and knowledge to be able to do it effectively.